Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on WINNMedia 98.9.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade Gwyneth Johnson. And it is Wednesday, April 21st, and the time is 8:05 a.m.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Yay!
Midday, Azem.
It is what?
Midday. Midweek, ma'am.
I was like, what?
Midweek, okay. Jade, you were overindulged last night, yesterday? Like you had a fun day yesterday?
If what?
You still coming down from yesterday?
I wish.
I
wish.
Jade has barely started to descend. As a matter of fact, this is just a representation of her spirit that she sent.
I wish. I will celebrate 420 next week.
Anyway, it's hump day.
Hump day?
Indeed.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's made a week.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Granted, this weather makes me want to go back home, so that's why I feel like I think. It is raining. It has been the weather is something else. Like it started raining exactly 6:30. It could have started at 4, 3, sleeping hours, but nope. When everybody have to wake up to go, it rained.
Yeah. Generally how it goes.
Terrible. Like I contemplated 3 times just to go back over and just sleep.
The problem by me is that I watch the rain go to town from like my house, so I might get a little drizzle.
No.
Yeah, it hardly ever really like showers at my
Yeah.
house.
Honestly, for me too, most of the time, the good rains just happen, in the country. So by the time, I will get the start, if so much, and then it will travel into town and, last. I will get like 2 seconds of rain and then town get like 2 hours.
Hey, but big up the people that live like between Halfway Tree and Debe. Like it
Oh, it must be awesome.
It rain every day
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be talking to
Watershed.
my friends and they'll be like, "Oh, it's raining," and I'm like, "Grudge, yeah, grudge much."
Every single day. Like, yeah, I grudge.
Me too.
That's
I love rain.
like
So much.
I'm more a guy who leans towards the east side of the island, but the west side definitely does.
West side.
Actually, you ain't gonna make nobody come shoot up the shoot up the studio here with your gang signs.
Sorry, that was just random metal.
Wow.
Mhm.
But but yeah, definitely the west side does. Let's try to entice me over there with the rain by.
You know what you need? A girlfriend from over there.
No,
Oh,
but yes, but no.
I'm trying to help here. Okay, I'm trying to help.
Raw boy. The funny thing about it was, a friend of mine has this saying. He's like, "Bah, if you never had a woman from SP,
SP with the best way?
you ain't doing something right."
Unfortunately, it's the opposite for women.
I don't know about that.
Every time I hear a woman talk about SP,
SP guy.
what?
I mean, and I understand, but I love have the SP man. Them. It's just that the stuff that I like about the SP men come with certain caveats. Maybe that's what going on.
Mr. Evelyn, no, I didn't crop off the low bandwidth. Kevon just upgraded his internet in space. Yes.
yes. So let me
Notice.
explain. So, being in space, you get your Wi-Fi from satellites,
Right.
and the satellites that were, what that the Wi-Fi was getting was the bare minimum, enough to transmit data. However, I told NASA it is unacceptable and ridiculous for me to be operating on these speeds. So
Right.
they sent out a new satellite and they granted me another. They gave me extra bandwidth. So now I am here and present.
Right.
That is what you call global efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Somebody messaged me the other day and asked me if I'm in space for true, and I didn't know what to answer.
What do you mean?
What I mean?
What do you mean? You know, tell them the truth. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like, yeah. And then
We have this-
and I'm just like,
We have this one particular caller who constantly asserts that you're in Antigua.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go.
Speaking of,
I mean, I could be in Antigua because who knows? I might be directly over Antigua. So,
Right.
I see what I mean. But speaking of caller, well, a man cussed me off on the radio yesterday.
Who cuss you out?
The man that said the woman
Your
always cut him
friend.
off. The man who want to call and talk for 20 minutes.
But he didn't specifically say
But I
Jade.
know who he mean.
No, he
He
said
mean me.
no. Come on, this caller calls into every. I don't know.
Well, he said he don't like to call the show because we just cut him off.
No, he said
Aye,
he said
right.
WINN FM.
Aye.
He said WINN FM, and he said all
He
the
said
other,
WINN
all
FM.
the other stations.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said- he
Well, I
mentioned
feel
the other
he mean me.
station.
And if you be me, I wait. Aye, right. You can't call people I'm sure talk for 20 minutes. That's your own show. If you want to talk for 20 minutes, go live on your phone. Don't call nobody show and talk for 20 minutes. That
Why I
is
can't
rude.
understand how these people just be able to call in to shows that running simultaneously on different radio stations.
Yeah, it's a talent. It's a talent.
Well, I mean, just switch the radio. Just
Yeah, but they just pick up the conversation, know what all them had been said, and just,
yes.
I believe they have two radios, one's pointing directly into the left ear, and one pointing directly into the right ear, and they just have a way of deciphering the information.
Well, if you say so, I powder them. Call everybody. Talk to everybody.
He
Yeah,
can
your
tell
views.
everybody.
Just don't stay on the radio for 20 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, that's kind of rude.
But so okay, let's address this. Let's address it.
I
So
did.
we love callers. This is an interactive show.
No,
we
just rented.
enjoy this show because we interact with the live, we interact with the callers. We like that aspect of it. However, it does, it ties up the line when you call in and you just keep going and going and going and going because other
Yeah, me
callers
calling,
want
you
to
know?
call in to say something.
But I was ready.
What?
Don't do that, Azem. Azem is lying.
But- But other callers wanted to call in to contribute, and you're just still going. You can say it and hang up, and then give other callers a chance to contribute to the conversation. Because if you just keep going, and you're on the call for like 10 minutes talking, other callers are sitting there waiting, and then the callers gonna text us abusing. I can't get in. Oh, y'all ain't picking up the phone, and then at the same time, y'all are sometimes some of those callers that calling in and can't get in because somebody is on the line. So let's just try to make it fair and just give.
Make your point.
Nobody telling you don't call in. We love when y'all call in. That's the. So.
Anywho,
But
Kevon.
they listening to the show, so they're gonna miss the memo, and then they'll still do it.
Sorry. Anywho, Kevon, we have an agenda today. Give us your special intro so we can get to business.
So let's.
Hello, I said give us your intro. Thank you.
Bro, I stay noted. I stay noted. Yeah.
Good choice.
Get him.
What is that? Your space water?
Mm-hmm.
Moon juice.
Condensation from the side of the ship.
Oh, man, if that's tasty, but okay.
And then I strain it through a sock.
Wow. That sounds terrible.
It is time for tea. Tea time.
Oh, yeah, that was actually really good.
Yeah, I would give that one a 9.
The condensation, okay, man.
Yeah, man.
So, let's just do the vaccine update.
Yay.
So, we are at 35.73% of the target population. That is, we are at 11,804 administered doses, and our target population is 33,037 persons. We are at 11,804.
Not bad.
Yeah, we're going. I do feel though that we've slowed down, because these numbers were jumping every day. I feel like for the past few days I've read 35 a few times. I could be wrong, but I feel like we're stuck in that middle 30s. I feel the same way.
I had to literally go back and back check to make sure it was the correct date, because I was like 35. I feel like I saw 35 already, but okay.
Yeah, but it's just
You did. So
if you are in a position to get vaccinated, if you are interested in getting vaccination, do so. If you don't know about vaccinations or you have questions, find the right people to ask them to. Asking people at a bar about vaccinations, you're probably not going to get the best answer.
Come on, Kevon. Everybody know you talk to your barber.
Yeah, you're going to your barber and asking him about
who else would you
vaccines.
Talk to?
You're probably not going to get good answers. That is because your barber is not the doctor.
They're a doctor here. What do you mean?
I thought barbers was
but
everything.
It's okay to not want to take the vaccine, but know why you don't want to take it, and have your reason make sense. Don't just say you won't take it because it and you make up some Facebook thing. It's okay, but get some advice, get some comments from health professionals, and then they can make a better decision. But anyway, I think we all kind of just fed to the up, but let's talk about some St Kitts and Nevis news. So this is vaccine too. Oh my God, Jade, all of them is vaccines.
Well, I put all the vaccine stuff to the top so we could get them over with.
Okay, I guess. Let's do these two first. So first, the St Kitts and Nevis Labour Party and Labour Union, they condemned the mandatory vaccinations. So the St Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, SKNLP, and the St Kitts and Nevis Trades and Labour Union have issued a joint statement condemning mandatory vaccination. the Labour Party leader, Dr. Denzel Douglas, and the executive of the Labour Union expressed the view that attempts at forced and mandatory vaccination of the private sector employees and public servants by employers and governments, respectively, must be strongly condemned. Dr. Douglas, a physician of many years, fielded a lot of questions on the COVID-19 vaccination program. After addressing residents of constituency number 6, he again reaffirmed his support of vaccinations, outlining the historical importance of vaccinations generally in combating contagious diseases and specifically the coronavirus. Stated. Douglas was critical of the government pandemic from the very beginning in the exclusion of the opposition as a stakeholder. Dr. Douglas, also the leader of Her Majesty's Loyal information that press informed this citizens and residents must exercise their right of choice of the vaccines available and to take it or not to take it. The St Kitts and Nevis Labour Party and the Labour Union positions were articulated at a town hall meeting in Newton Brown in solidarity with workers and advised them of their rights even under the stress of mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations by the government and private businesses. Residents were reportedly updated on recent party activities in readiness for its conference of delegates next month, personal achievements of constituents, empowerment, developments being pursued specifically by farmers and fishers in improving the livelihoods and special recognition of women's valiant efforts to deal with severe social and economic challenges resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. So
it would have been interesting for me to see if the roles were reversed. If the opposition was in power, I would have liked to see how it would have looked with them rolling out the vaccine and their strategy. But you know, we can't because they're not in a position to do so.
But you know, that's also what oppositions do. Oppositions are there to oppose. So, you know, they will always find ways to criticize things that were done. And that's what they're there for, to criticize. And it works. You know, sometimes it provides, you know, more thoughts on how to handle certain situations. It's good sometimes, but sometimes I just wish everything just didn't have to be political.
Yeah.
In the Caribbean, not happening.
In the world, not happening.
Yeah.
Not even in the Caribbean. Everything is political.
But I do believe that this it's important that we precise. Like, I understand exactly what is being said. But I mean, I think it's important to note that how to put it into the proper context where, you know, the term mandatory seems as though we're moving towards a situation where choice isn't really available, and I think that has other repercussions if we start putting out that narrative. But
is that what's happening? Is that what is happening?
What do you mean?
Is that what we're moving towards? Does that feel like what we're moving towards? Mandatory?
No, what I think is happening is that it will be made increasingly difficult for you to operate having not taken the vaccine.
So mandatory.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. We can't do if especially from political leaders and things, it's the narrative is put out that it's mandatory. Meaning mandatory actually has a meaning.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
It mean things.
Right. Every time you say that, yeah, bye. Anyway, I think it's important, especially from from people in leadership, particularly political leadership, to be very precise about what the situation is. And yes, I understand that the things that are being put in place right now does make it very difficult, and I do believe it will become increasingly difficult to live your life without taking the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that is the conversation that we need to be having. Because when you relegate it to just calling it like, oh, it's mandatory, like, then you lose the nuance in the conversation, and then the conversation doesn't happen in a way that really moves us towards anything other than exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So.
May take it because the government says so.
Right, and perhaps, for instance, if it would have been suggested that perhaps if even after the steps that are now put in place, which is a lot of private companies really putting it out there that you won't be able to work if you don't take the vaccine, you won't be considered for as a candidate to be hired if you don't take the vaccine, and if in some cases you don't take the vaccine and you're still you're already a part of the company or a part of the industry or whatever, then the cost at which you'd have to operate is just not feasible.
Then then PCR tests every week? Every 2 weeks, sorry?
Mm-hmm. So we've already heard it suggested that if those don't work, then we'll be moving towards things like perhaps limiting your ability to gather with other people. For instance, you might not be able to go to the beach. You might not be able to enter into certain business places, right? If we keep going mandatory, like it's mandatory, then what happens is that we can't have the we don't end up having the conversations that we really should be having, whether or not we should really be able to go to the beach if we don't have if we haven't taken the vaccine.
I saw a business put out a memo that says that if at the end of all the periods that they give you, if you don't take it, then you just can't work there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I don't know if that's the way to get people to do anything.
Well, I feel, again, they feel that is the way because.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's important that we are able to have these conversations based on the actual situations that we're in, because when you lose the nuance in these conversations, then it generally just things just kind of happen and go along because you're arguing against something that's not really happening. Right, and so it just kind of continues to happen. So yeah, I understand what's being suggested, and
there's a gate at the beach to check you in when you go to the beach. What? Which beach?
No, but for instance, I suspect that what would happen is they probably have people who do like random checks, just like there's not a gate on the road, but they do blocks
and the beach, you just come ask me for vaccination again? So I suppose to just have it on me?
Yeah.
Why?
Just like they ask you to have your license on you all the time.
Yeah, but me driving.
Right, you're supposed to have. No, but you're supposed to have ID on you all the time. And honestly, that's actually something. I don't think.
As if I don't drive, I need to have a license on me.
But they don't ask you to have a license on you because you're not driving. But if you're driving,
having a license on you.
I know what you mean.
For me, I struggled because I remember, being in St Kitts, you just get up and go. And then I remember being in the States, everybody kept telling me, don't leave, and you have to have your license on you at any time because you need to be able to identify yourself.
Well, then I'm gonna have to have the vaccination cards like a night day.
Yeah, so you just put it in your wallet, your purse. Put it, clip it to the back of your driver's license.
No, but that's
or any ID.
But you see, this is the conversation I'm saying. Like, should that be the direction that we're going to? We are like, I live here, but I can't go to the beach.
Yeah, I don't know because I've never.
Because I chose not to take a vaccine, and that's the problem. Like when we go and say, vaccine mandatory and whatever.
Hopefully that won't be the case because we've never had to do that for nothing else. Like I've never had to present a vaccine. I don't even have a vaccination card for no other vaccine. So yeah, I don't feel like that's a good idea. I'm sorry. I could be wrong. I'm not the person in charge, but I'm just saying that's not.
See, just remember this moment, eh? Let's remember this moment.
I hate when you say things, because usually that doesn't end up being true.
Let's remember this moment
Stop
right
it.
here. Because no. The reason I'm saying let's remember this moment is because when things like this come into effect, me will be hearing, but what do you expect? That's what we're supposed to do.
Now, what are we supposed to do? Carry on a vaccine again?
I just say remember this moment.
No, I don't.
Because a lot of times what has happened is when things come into being, all of a sudden the irrationality of it, we can't see it no more. All of a sudden it's like, well, yeah, okay, for instance, prior to COVID, right? Mm-hmm. If anybody had said, hey, but you know what? They might just got one time when something going on and we just got literally closed on the country and people can't leave and people can't come here. You know, are they responsible been? But you're crazy.
That can't happen.
No, and then you know what happened after it happened? Well, everybody was like, but what you want us to do? We got to stop it. Like we got to. So that's what I'm saying. Be careful and that's what I'm saying. These conversations need to be had in a way where we could actually flesh them out. Because when you just come and you drop these things on people, then you get even more pushback.
What our government says though.
But that's the problem. My problem is
come and drop things
if government's doing that, the opposition is there, like Kevon is saying, to challenge those kind of things and to have the conversation. It's not always to say, well, whatever the opposition say, you're going to stop what the government doing, But it brings a discussion. It starts a conversation, right?
Sorry, what? You must have, but let's look at it if you wanted to apply to move. I was just about to say, Mr. Evelyn, that has been happening in that country for a while.
People ain't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll read it out. So he's
you got to read the whole thing. You could
saying,
summarize.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
The same thing is happening here in North America. In the near future, you cannot attend university, fly on a plane, take a cruise. It's becoming something that you must have, but let's look at it. If you wanted to apply to move to some other country, most of the times they ask you if you have been vaccinated for measles, smallpox, etc. And that's something we say all the time.
Yeah.
Even Dr. Hazel said that when she visited one of the countries in Africa, she had to take the yellow fever vaccine. Like a lot of countries don't allow you. If you're migrating, you have to have certain vaccines because it's a policy. Down to like Azem and I would have said in universities will tell you that you can't attend if you don't have certain vaccinations done, especially if you're coming from certain countries. And a big one is the tuberculosis vaccine, which is the BCG, which is the one that gives us the mark on the arm. A lot of countries, if you're coming from a country outside of the US, you are sort of told that you have to have that one. So I just feel like social media has been making this a much bigger thing than it should be.
No, but you see, again, we can't just say these things without speaking directly to the situation. Like, there are people who are not anti-vaccine who have issues with this particular vaccine. It's not that they have an issue with vaccines and being vaccinated. Right? And a lot of times that might come from misinformation. Sometimes it's just based on the simple fact that, hey, people had been taking the tuberculosis vaccine for generations before I got here. So, yeah, me really studying that, yeah. You know what I mean? When you're the first generation to take it, especially in a place like St Kitts where we haven't been faced with the full terror that comes with it. That's why people having these kind of reactions.
Well, I prefer not to have to face that.
Not only that, there are people ain't got to go states. I tell you that what the man tell me, and the man say, me in the states anyway. So
yeah, but like he ain't got to go states sketch COVID coming here.
No, but I just going directly to the example of people have to take vaccine to travel. But we have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to Island Tea. What's up? Caller? I think the caller
Alright.
gonna take the vaccine.
But yeah, like, and one of the things I was, before we move on, because me wants to end this one too long. One of the things that I have to mention is that a lot of people are talking about, oh, well, how come this vaccination come out so fast and all kind of things. We have to remember, right? A lot of vaccines need funding. Funding stops a lot of things from happening in the way that it could happen. This vaccine had a lot of funding because guess what? The rich people don't want to have to deal with COVID no more. So.
But we got a caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You're live on ILNT.
Guess not.
Stop being the bearers of bad news. How about you stop listening and then you don't have to hear the bad news?
What are you talking about?
Somebody on the live saying, oh.
Oh, somebody saying with the bearers of bad news?
Yeah, come on, can hear us.
Oh no, I hear you.
Yeah, somebody said we the bearers of bad news.
Oh.
How are we the bearers of bad news for doing our work? We literally just reading things that we see. That's not what we're supposed. That's not what my show is about. Reading things that we see.
I don't mind being the bearer of bad news. I don't understand.
Somebody have to do it anyway. But you know how you don't hear bad news?
Okay, so it's 7.
Let's do this one quick.
Hold on,
so
Kevon.
just...
Hold on, Kevon. I think we have this caller. Yeah, caller, good morning. Hold on. Let's check.
Never mind.
Hold on. If I could manage to get this. Okay, hold on. Caller, good morning. You're live on ILNT. What's up?
Yes, good morning. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, my friend.
Hold on, you have the more friends, but Kevon, you don't like us.
Jade, stop getting people relationships.
You know what? Wait, clear, go ahead.
You see, I think just like Azem have what's your name, Kitty or whatever.
Kitty, yes.
Okay. but anyway, you see the thing is right with this vaccine. Look at it. The thing it tell you. I listened to y'all CMO the other day. Somebody asked, when we're fully vaccinated, do you still have to go in quarantine? She said yes, because it does not prove that it will not prevent you from getting COVID. What is the purpose of you shutting up something in you? It don't prevent and it don't cure.
Cleo.
Tell me, what does it do?
Yes, what it does prevent you from getting severe symptoms and death.
Imagine that.
Yeah, because see hold on. See, a lot of people have been dying, and a lot of people have been getting hospitalized when they get the things. So that's what it does.
I'm not gonna dispute that people ain't die from this thing, but a lot of the people that die when this thing first come out, they didn't die from COVID. This thing was exaggerated. They tell a lot of lie on this thing called COVID.
No,
and if you're gonna shut me, you're gonna shut me up with something that don't prevent me from getting it and it don't cure it. But I'm putting something in my body what you can't even tell me why it really does. You're gonna tell me it makes the symptom a little less worse?
No. But again, see, this is the problem. This is the problem I'm having. They tell you that the vaccine does not prevent you contracting. What it does, one, it limits you contracting it, and if you do get it, you won't get severe symptoms or die. So that's what it's trying to do. So I don't think
it's lie too, because I know people who got the vaccine, and after they got the vaccine, got the COVID.
But
that's what they're saying. That's okay. This is my thing. You can't tell the vaccine what the vaccine should be doing. They're telling you exactly what the vaccine should be doing. So you should be judged on that. So the vaccine.
I don't think they themselves know what this vaccine is supposed to be doing.
Okay. So let me tell you what they said the vaccine is supposed to be doing.
And the doctor said, I listened to a doctor, and the doctor said it's not even a vaccine.
Okay.
You sure
so,
you listen to a doctor?
No. Okay. So
the
again,
doctor says this thing is not even a vaccine.
Fair enough.
Now that's a doctor.
Yeah. So fair enough. But again, this is what I don't like that. Like this. My thing is, if they're gonna tell you straightforward, this thing does not prevent you from contracting the disease. What it does do is it prevents you, if you do contract the disease, from developing severe symptoms, it being hospitalized, and it also prevents death. Now, why do we go back and then judge it and say, but it ain't stopping you from getting the vaccine, from getting the virus? That's the question.
Listen, this thing here, like I said, I'm not against vaccine, but nobody gonna force me and tell me about mandatory. I'm gonna do it in my own time. Like my husband went to get his job. He's like, you come here, honey. No, me ready yet to be the sacrificial lamb. You go on.
I
love it.
You don't trust your husband's decisions?
No, he makes his own.
No, exactly. I tell him, go. I'm not ready yet to go take no job. I'll watch your Twitch first. I'll see who you are.
You go watch your husband's Twitch. You
That
husband
is
Twitch
about.
first. Oh, my mother's.
Oh, you gotta love it. Hey,
That is what love is about. Show me how much you're willing to show me how something works.
right.
You
Twitch
watch your
first, then let
husband
me know if I
Twitch,
can
you know?
Twitch after.
Yeah,
Twitch.
love it. But this is
I want somebody that be like that.
so this is my thing, right? Like,
Bro,
look,
you cannot push information into people's heads who don't want to take the information.
no,
No, I
limit-
think the big thing is, and which is what Azem is saying, is that the vaccine was designed to do a certain thing. However, people are expecting it and telling you that it's supposed to do something it's not designed to do.
that's like,
And then that is where the giant missing. So that basically, so let's make it a little bit.
this
more.
is the Gorilla Glue
let's-
Girl. This is the Gorilla Glue Girl like
let's-
all over again.
Yeah.
Let's say vitamin C. So
This-
vitamin C was made to boost your immune system. And then let's just say a bunch of people and get up and say, no, vitamin C is supposed to keep me from getting a cold at all. But that's not what it's meant to do. And so that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is designed to do one thing and people are telling it it's supposed to do something
Yeah,
else.
Kevon,
Like, that is not the type of vaccine it is.
Yeah,
Bro.
we have another caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Side. Come on, do the
Yeah, let me
the
jump into
J&J
this one.
article, please.
Do the what?
The J&J article.
I hear what the people let me say, baby.
What?
The bearers.
Yeah. So let's,
Well,
Oh boy.
bro, clear some. But it prevent you from being clear. Then what I say? But you're doing it.
so let's talk about this.
Just before you
so
continue, Kevon, let's see if we have this caller on the line, which
Yeah, crack him up today.
doesn't look that way, but really quickly.
Yeah, may I want to read it no more.
Caller?
Nope.
No, I think you lost them.
Whatever you want, I read it the most. Okay.
Let's read it tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, let's do some. Let's do another article then.
So let's talk about La Soufriere, the volcano and the eruptions that's been happening in St Vincent and the Grenadines. So I think it was on Monday we talked about an individual who decided to hike the active volcano.
What they
to get
call him again?
footage.
What the Caribbean word for dunce?
Dotish.
Word of the week. Dotish.
So he was called the professor. I forgot his last name. Professor told the individual on social media that he condemned his actions and said it's quite foolish and just quite frankly dotish. The individual actually has since been arrested. So the hiker who climbed the summit of the volcano has been arrested. News 784 understands that this thrill seeker, Desron Rodriguez, who defied orders to stay away from the volcano and ventured to the summit on Sunday, 18th of April, was arrested on Tuesday, the 20th. The volcano, which is currently in an explosive phase, has had its latest eruption on Sunday at 4:49 p.m., sending ash south and west of the island. News 784 understands that he was taken to the Biabu police station at the time of his arrest. I might have said that wrong. The developments are unfolding less than 48 hours after the lead scientist, Professor Richard Robertson, on Monday, described his actions as dotish and not an act of bravery, as Rodriguez's decision to climb the active volcano on Sunday put not just himself at risk, but his fellow hikers, because he didn't go alone.
Yeah, dotish.
It is unclear if any charges have been filed at the moment, but the individual has been arrested. he posted himself, videos of himself and photos of himself and the surrounding area on his social media platforms. And most people were like, yeah, you know, great footage, but we didn't need it because you could have died getting it.
Why would you do? Really can't understand the whole reasoning in climbing an fully active eruption.
People jump out of planes.
Yeah, but okay, wait.
People jump out of planes. I understand why you did it.
Which is what? Okay, explain why you did it.
Thrill seeking. Yeah. But hold on, let's see.
You prefer to... we have a call now?
Yeah, we have a call. Caller, good morning. But you know, they probably done... Gonna see if they could find their own volcano. Hey, good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. Yeah, see? Hang on.
Oh, well,
No, but my thing is, like, that don't make it... That don't mean it's still not...
you have to use the
dotish.
correct term.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see why he was charged with. Anybody know?
No, the article says that it's not clear if any charges have been filed.
Yeah, I figured they'll arrest him, and whatever the law allows them to hold him for, they'll just hold him. It's just to discourage.
Cleo was saying that why they arrest the man to take the...
That's my whole point.
I think it's because then wouldn't they have to go do some kind of investigation after? Like if he dies up there, wouldn't the police and all of them have to get involved? That's not wasting time and energy.
But you arrested me for?
Well, you can't arrest a dead man. But I mean, if he died up there, wouldn't the police have to then go...
Yeah, but why you arresting me for?
Yes.
You know, make sure.
That's the thing.
Endangering your own life.
Yeah, it didn't really work that way.
So for the people that didn't listen, weren't tuned into when we talked about it, I'll just give a refresher. So,
but Kevon, quickly before we continue, let's see if we get this caller. Caller, good morning, live on LNT. I don't know. I think we having issues picking up the calls.
Just throw away the phone.
Yeah.
But the individual decided to hike the volcano with a party. He did not go by himself. He took a group of people up there to the.
Wait, he took a group?
To the. He didn't go alone. He went with people.
They're locking him up for endangering people's life. I don't care if you tell me.
There were also orders to stay away from the volcano. There were, it's a red zone.
Orders?
There are orders put in place to tell you to stay away. He defied the orders. He went sitting, and then after the hike, the volcano exploded. I don't know what they're gonna charge him with, but the professor said that it's irresponsible because had the eruption taken place while he was there, he would have expected a search and rescue party to come and rescue him, which then puts them at risk for sort of an unnecessary reason, because you could have just not gone. But yeah, he's been arrested. I'm interested to see where this is gonna go in terms of like charges, if they're gonna find charges, because I'd love to know like what type of charges they'll find to charge him with. But I think they're just trying to hold him to keep him from venturing back, probably. And like somebody said on the live, it's probably just on the grounds of preventing himself from endangering himself. But yeah, it's just one of those things, like, it's like, the people who refuse to leave their homes in the surrounding area, like, you could tell them 100 times and they still choose to not move.
Okay. Want to take a break?
Yeah, Kevon, let's take a very quick break and we'll come back with more conversation because adulting, really adulting today. I don't know what's going on. So yes, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Found the sound 98.9 WINN FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Everything's gotta go. Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go. Clearance sale is happening now. All 2018, 2019, and 2020 models gotta go. Yes, come to Horsford's Automotive and get $10,000 off select 2020 models. That's right. Horsford's Automotive is making room for 2021 by offering $10,000 off select 2020 models. And that's not all. Come now and get 0% down payment. No payment until May 2021. $500 in free groceries, free servicing for 1 year, free bill of sale, free tinting, free registration, free accessories, and free licensing. Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go clearance sale. The biggest clearance sale event of the year. Select 2020 vehicles, price to go. Everything gotta go. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
WINN FM 98.9 keeps you connected. Even when you're on the go, join the WINN FM WhatsApp messenger service. Our WhatsApp number is
662-2204.
Be a WINN FM iReporter. Send us your photos, videos, news tips, or even news items for consideration. Remember the number
662-2204.
If you own or work with animals, please follow these tips to avoid getting the coronavirus. Please keep pets away from areas where you are preparing food and eating your meals. Thoroughly wash your hands after handling animals and animal waste. Avoid contact with sick or stray animals. And always remember to wear protective gowns, gloves, and facial protection when handling them. As the novel coronavirus spreads, it is important that you continually disinfect your home. Viruses can gather on surfaces such as doorknobs, computer keyboards and mouse, cell phones, tablets, railings, kitchen and bathroom countertops, and remote control devices. To avoid transfer of viruses, wipe down these surfaces regularly with disinfectants such as Clorox, Lysol wipes, or soap and water. Avoid touching your face or your loved one's faces after touching any of these types of surfaces. It is very easy for viruses to be transferred in this way. When preparing food, be sure to use different knives and cutting boards for raw meat and cooked foods. Wash your hands before and after handling raw meats. Also, wash your hands before and after using cooked food. Be sure to cook food thoroughly before eating it. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves Kevon and Azem featuring Jade Gwyneth Johnson. And we are back.
Yeah, Kevon,
it's still Wednesday.
Yeah, indeed. Still up there. We have a special caller on the line. Caller, good morning. How are you doing?
Yes, good morning. My voice by now, this is Dr. Wilkinson.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. I thought it was important for me to call it because I was listening earlier when you all were speaking about COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain things that were said that I thought needed to be addressed. I think the issue to quarantining and fully vaccinated that came up, the speed at which vaccines were developed and the hesitancy associated with the vaccine. And I just thought I wanted to weigh in on a few of those.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because number one, as it relates to the speed at which the vaccines were developed, I think Jade hinted to this in that when vaccines are being developed and they're coming on stream, they have to fight past three hurdles really. One, funding. Two, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, so one, funding, because it takes money to bring a vaccine to market. Two, finding volunteers, people who are willing to step forward and put something in their arms that they know might affect them. And 3, finding sufficient disease to test the vaccine against.
Mm-hmm.
As it was to COVID-19, there was no problem with funding because a number of first world countries put millions, if not billions of dollars upfront to help these companies develop the vaccine, since they knew that we were in dire. It works against the disease. So there were no shortage of these 3 things that were important to test the vaccine. Not only that, the technology that was used was in existence before. Okay, so for the AstraZeneca vaccine, the technology was in existence for 10 years before. The technology for the Pfizer Moderna 3 years before. And so it is erroneous to say that they were developed, in a rush.
But doctor,
quicker than before.
Doctor,
but, yeah, hi.
Just to clarify for us here. So the coronavirus, as we call it now, is not the only version of the coronavirus that we would have had. So is it to say that we would have had, like you said, technologies that we could apply to this version of the virus now, because we have been dealing with it for some time before?
Yes, for example, with the SARS pandemic 10 years ago.
Right.
And coronavirus is a common virus. So it is not, this type of virus was new to us, understand, but the technology was there before. And so it is wrong to say there was a rush. Yes, it came forward in record speed because a number of the hurdles that had to be crossed were easily crossed.
Right.
Okay, but this is one vaccine too, where it was tested in thousands of persons before. In other words, the testing population for other vaccines have not been as wide as this one. Okay, and so because of that, and because of the due diligence that was done, we know that there is safety associated with the vaccine. Now, when persons ask if you're fully vaccinated, if you still have to quarantine, you cannot answer that question in isolation, because yes, we are going to get to a point where when you're fully vaccinated, you will not be quarantined. But the rest of us who are not vaccinated need to step to the plate and do that so we can make that thing happen. Because even if you're vaccinated, there is a chance that you can still transmit the virus. Now, It is incorrect to say, well, okay, I'm not going to take the vaccine because I may get infected, I may still transmit the virus. We know that the vaccine will save you from getting severe disease and death.
Right.
And that's significant. We also know that there is a significant percentage of persons, and studies are showing now up to 70% of persons who have decreased transmissibility, which means that after getting the vaccine, you may not even transmit the virus.
Right.
But until we get to a certain level of herd immunity, we will still have to quarantine persons. Now, everything comes with a risk, and so there might be a point in time. Right now we're at 35% persons having their first shot. There might be a point in time before we get to herd immunity where a decision might be made that we will absorb some risk and let persons who are fully vaccinated have a reduced quarantine period. What that period might be, I don't know. But everything comes with a risk. Right now, the safest thing we are doing is quarantining persons for 14 days, and that's what has kept us safe. But it cannot be a two-edged sword where we are protecting you, but now you have an opportunity to protect yourself with the vaccine, and you're saying we don't have COVID-19, so we should not take the vaccine.
Right. I think that there's a lot of people who, like I said, we've seen it in some of the first world countries who had more of a battle with the virus. They're able to assess the risk a little more because of what they would have observed and experienced. Some people losing family, some people get contracting the virus themselves. So I think that here it seems as though we have issues learning from the experiences of others.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say, regards to the point that was made about mandating vaccines and persons having a choice, okay, as to whether to take the vaccine or not. Now, I want to use an analogy, and then I will come back to COVID-19. If you are on the second floor of a burning building, and it's you, your child, your partner, and an older person, your grandmother, okay? And the second floor is on fire, and the stairs are on fire. And I show up with a ladder, and I put it on the window of the second floor, and I tell you, you can come down this ladder, and it will prevent you from getting severely burnt, and it will also save your life. Because the alternative is to stay in the house and get burnt, or to go down the stairs and get burnt and probably lose your life. I tell you though, that people fall off ladders all the time. And so you may fall off this ladder, but walk down carefully and hold on. You will get down safely. I also tell you that the child cannot come down on its own. And so to protect the child, you need to hold the child and bring the child down. I also tell your partner that your old grandmother may fall off the ladder if she comes down by herself. So you need to hold her and bring her down and save the entire family. Or you have a choice, you all can stay up there and burn. Who would you listen to? The person who is telling you have a choice and you can stay in the burning building, or me who comes with the ladder with the risk involved and tell you you need to come down?
Well, I know who I would listen to. I know me. You know?
Right?
Yeah, I know me, but
You will burn?
No. I'd be on that ladder in a jiffy.
No, what did Jade say? Because if she said otherwise, I'm going to come right into steer now for her.
Oh, no. She said she don't want to burn. She doesn't want to burn. So you understand the point I'm making as it relates to COVID-19 now, and when people speak about choice, because the choice is obvious. It is either you will not take the vaccine and the fire will continue to blaze and you will get burnt, or you take the vaccine and save yourself and your family. Mm-hmm. And even the point you made about transmissibility, I think is one of the driving forces for some people who I know have taken it even here, because they recognize that they may want to be around a loved one who, for whatever reason, maybe age or pre-existing condition, may not be able to take the vaccine, and they don't want to be, the reason why that family member suffers. So even that point in the analogy you made there just now, understanding that it's a responsibility to your loved ones. I don't think a lot of people really feel in this country above self approach, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But I do think it resonates with people understanding that, look, this is even for your loved one, for your kids, for the more vulnerable among us. So.
But before I go there, I actually believe in being optimistic. And I believe that we need to congratulate the 11,000 plus persons who have done the right thing and getting us to over 35% of the target population. I believe in taking small steps. Hopefully, at the end of this week, we should cross the 12,000 mark, which we need to celebrate. And after 35, we will be looking for 40%, and then 45 and 50. We need to make small steps. I also think it's important for people to develop little herds, and so you, Azem, you need to have your little herd of friends where you are vaccinated, so when you're moving, you can move comfortably together. Jade, the same thing. Kevon, the same thing. WINN FM, the same thing. And the more little herds we develop, eventually we will get to the population herd immunity. And so sometimes looking at the 33,070 that we need to get to, it might seem like it's a long haul, but it takes small baby steps. And I believe that we are doing great as a country, and we need to continue in that manner, and we'll get there eventually. And history will show that all of the persons who were fighting for the vaccine and rolling up the sleeves and taking the vaccine, that they would have done the right thing, not just for themselves, but for the vulnerable and for the entire nation and the world, because no one is safe until everyone is safe.
All right, Doc, thank you so much for calling in, friend of the show.
Yes.
Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, really appreciate it.
Okay, I listen to you all the time. Thanks, bye.
All right, bye.
Well, you heard from the doctor. We're not doctors. We just give information that we can get. But the doctor who y'all supposed to trust, who've been...
Kevon is a doctor.
No, not in that way.
Dr. Love.
Yeah, but no. Doctor actual surgery? No. Yes, the doctor y'all trust and go to for y'all ailments and all of that has told y'all the information, and he's always... take life serious. He's always available to give y'all any information that you guys would need. So, yes, that's vaccine talk for today. I am drained. But
you
Kevon,
and me both.
Yeah, I got a clip that has to do with one of my favorite topics. Can you guess what it is? No? Okay, well...
Some conspiracy?
No, not that one. My other favorite topic.
Oh.
Yeah, so we'll play the clip and then we'll discuss it after.
What is the clip? I lost.
Yeah, it happened last night on Leadership Matters.
Oh, no.
It's a clip from Leadership Matters. So we'll hear what they were talking about. A little snippet.
I can hardly wait.
I know. Let's see if we can get it up to play. Okay, here we go.
And being put aside for holistic plant growth, for example, paracetamol plants and other medicinal plants. The person said they would also include marijuana among that group, and they wanted to know what is the status of those who are interested for marijuana, getting into marijuana farming.
Well, in terms of the marijuana, we have now put in place an authority to deal with that, which deals with that subject matter. The board is headed by Mr. Ernest Amri and include a number of other persons, the head of the Rastafarian Brethren Association in the Federation, so a gentleman out of Nevis, and several others. It's a very diversified board. They have been meeting. I believe they've met at least 4 times for the year, so things are moving forward. The board is being supported by Dr. Dale Crawford, who provides this area. So last week, in fact, there was a conference held virtually in which information was being provided about different approaches to marijuana production and cultivation. So we are moving ahead, and I would suggest that anyone who has to government headquarters and ask for Dr. Dale Crawford of the administrative arm. To pursue the cultivation of marijuana. The specific sites, of course, will be with Mr. Crawford and with the board, the marijuana board.
What are government investments?
Oh, yes. Good news. Is it good news? I think it's good news.
Right up Jade alley.
Right up my lane, yes. I'm happy to hear this because, this has been a topic that we always talk about, but we don't really know what they're doing. But now they're telling us for you to find out what they're doing. You can speak to Dr. Crawford. Dr. Crawford, is that my doctor that used to... Is it the doctor that used to be the doctor? He's a doctor still, but he doesn't practice anymore.
I don't know if he practices or not. He's husband to Sherwin Crawford.
My doctor.
Yeah.
My doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to hear that he's a part of this. I would like to know who all is a part of this, but some of the names they call I'm familiar with. So
I think we should just call it the Jade Initiative.
Yeah.
I second that motion. Call it the Jade Initiative.
That laugh tells you everything you need to know.
It does.
Oh boy.
But Azem, any thoughts on the new way forward with the good old plant from God?
Well, I think that this is something that even since the government's first term, they've been talking about. They've been they had well, I guess this is what he's talking about, the marijuana commission that was put in place a few years ago. And I'm not sure of the I'm not sure what the timeline is. I would suspect there'd have to be a lot of there'd have to be a legal framework put into place. There's some stuff happening, but
I hope this isn't one of those things where you just keep telling people, yeah, we're working on it, but we never see the work. I hope it's not that.
No, we're working on it, but I do believe that there's probably going to have to be some. It has to be a priority. It has to be a priority for the government in order for us to see it coming to some tangible, to some place where it's like we could say, well, okay, this is what it is. This is a situation, whether it's legal, decriminalized. What is the what is the because I keep saying, like, for me it's more important what the actual setup is in terms of who would be allowed to get licenses, who would be allowed to benefit. Is it something that is going to be decriminalized? Is it something that is going to be legalized? Is it for recreational use? Is it for medicinal use? Like, these are the questions that I know is now being pondered by the commission.
Would
yes.
Would it be affordable for the small man to be able to get into this business? That's another question that we need to know.
Yeah, but even things like that, I don't. Every industry has its entry points, right? Every industry has its entry points. So I.
The reason I said that is because the small man is who has been most affected by this, because that's who has been locked up for selling illegally. That's who has been using. That's who has been, basically everything to do with marijuana. It has come from the small man. So it would feel a way for them to now put something in place. But the small man who literally pushed this forward now can't be a part, because.
Well, this is my that's a nuanced argument, because at the same time, the small man, every industry has an entry point. Like,
I understand.
Right. So so when you say the
but
small
it's like
man,
agriculture. The small man is able to be a part of agriculture and to plant and grow vegetables and fruits and all of that. So that's why I'm saying.
But is that so? That's what you want to see happen, where you have a lot of small micro growers as opposed to a more regulated thing.
No, but I'm not talking about how it's regulated. I'm talking about.
So you want to see just anybody could grow weed, anybody could do what they want to do.
Once they meet the criteria and they have the proper information. My argument is.
But that's kind of like what happened with alcohol. Okay, so. No, but you.
But how much is that alcohol license?
Where you think you don't see fellows who doing the Hammond opening a distillery? Like, because entering into the market takes money.
Check out Weed Dudley out of Antigua. Oh, I really want their stuff. St Kitts needs to hurry up before we get left behind. Yeah. We actually we had an opportunity to try their stuff one time, but we weren't sure if that would work because importing. We didn't want to get arrested for importing anything that had marijuana in it. So, yeah. That went out the door.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's what I'm saying. These are the questions that we have to figure out. What is it that we are trying to achieve? Like, if we are trying to achieve a situation where people are just you just want to stop the persecution of people who partake, or is it that we're trying to develop like industry out of this thing? So those are going to be some of the questions that.
You know who we're gonna ask? Dr. Kevon. We shall ask the person in charge, because that's where we get information. We're not going to guess. We're not going to speculate. We're going to actually ask. because that's what we usually
Bring
do.
him on the show and do it.
It'd be interesting to hear where they're at in those conversations,
Yeah.
because I don't believe that they have the answers to those questions either yet.
Well, whatever answers you have, we're gonna ask him. We're gonna get him exclusive.
Yeah. So yeah, and so that's my concern. Like, we haven't really
Is it
seen.
too new?
We haven't really
Too
seen. No, well, not that is too new, but we just, again, I don't know how much of a priority it is on the government's agenda.
Well, they brought it up, so it must be somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Somewhere.
It's somewhere.
I know. Of course, we know what's their priority right now. So, hopefully, that's not too far down. Like, I know it's gonna be down, but I hope it's not like bottom.
Yeah, I mean, and again, even when we had August.
Expand, I do. You're correct.
August was here. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who we, like, I was bringing up the point that Greg, yes. Like, yes, we understand the possible economic, benefits that we could have for, developing a marijuana industry here and stuff like that. And the truth is, we need to, like, especially given the context that we are now with COVID and everything and stuff like that, like, we're trying to get back to a place where it's something closer to what we would have had prior to COVID. But I think that COVID really showed us that we need to diversify. So is it that we're going to use marijuana as a way to diversify and help with the economics?
Ways. I know it can't be the only way because
right. So it's about just figuring out exactly what we want to do exactly. Yeah, because for instance, like, we would have learned even prior to some of this conversation that it's wrong to persecute people who use marijuana as a religious sacrament, right? So there's all these different areas, and it's a lot to try and figure out exactly the direction we want to go in.
Yeah. It's just always been.
Is it going to be a phased approach? Is it going to be something that we take time to over? Like, so we say we'll decriminalize it, or we say we legalize it for medical use only. Like, how are we going to move forward in this thing? I think that is what's being discussed, and we don't really have the answers to those yet.
Well, as I said, we'll get somebody with the actual answers to come talk to us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Kevon, what's next on the agenda? Huh? Sorry, what?
I said the best way. Just to get the professionals to do the talking. Let's do this one quick. Some St Kitts news. Y'all hearing me?
Yep. Yes. Okay.
So the East Line bus is still operating from Baker's Corner. The construction, remember we talked about it a while back, this construction happening on the East Bus Terminal, and it's still continuing more than a month after the East Bus Association engaged in the protest action of the terminal. According to the president of the East Bus Association, Jefferson Pemberton, the work being done on the expansion of lanes in the terminal is about 90% complete. The work at the terminal began during the week of March 22nd and was scheduled for completion a month later, which would bring the completion date to this week, which is the week of April 19th to 24th. With the construction it's kind of a deterrent, because the road that the buses go on is very narrow, so you have to. The system is there by default because of the way the road is set up. So the question was posed: what?
Because kind of close to the tongue.
Right. The question was also posed: what will happen to the buses
No. I ain't saying that it's thing, but I ain't saying that like it's far. I'm just saying it's closer to town. Like when they decided to move the terminal up there, people was cussing. Like I don't catch bus, so I ain't really getting too caught up in the arguments either way. But people seem to like Baker's Corner.
Kevon, apparently your audio chipped out. Just give them a brief summary. You don't have to reread the article, but just tell them again. Yeah, I know. You want me to give them a brief summary for you? Basically, the buses is still in Baker's Corner. The work at the terminal should be finished this week. The bus should have been finished this
probably
week.
Gonna take a little longer.
The president is saying that Baker's Corner is easier to manage, and as him is saying, it's because it's closer to town.
Well, I was adding to what Kevon was saying about just the logistics.
But it's not really. I walk there all the time, so let me see. Is it really? It's like what? Like a minute, 2 minutes?
If so much.
More if you walk to the bus terminal from Baker's Corner, it's 2 minutes.
I tell you already, I don't got to walk to catch the bus. So me ain't getting in. I don't hear the people them talk about it. So me ain't getting in that there. Like.
Well, I mean, it's 2 minutes when you don't have to carry grocery bags and all of that. It's more like 10 if you have to carry anything.
I don't see the people complaining, so I'm not getting into that. But hopefully the construction is complete at the new terminal soon. And I'm hoping that the logistics and the managing, well, it seems as though the concerns and the suggestions of the bus drivers have been taken into consideration. So that's the main thing.
Jade, tell Azem I'm waiting patiently for my soup. Is that a tea or Joseph? Is that a soup or tea? You or Joseph something?
Oh yes, Joseph.
The man white.
No, remember Joseph is the one who won the thing.
The man white thing.
Yeah, but remember that's when I got sick. I got sick that week. Yeah.
Joseph evolved.
Joseph.
I fish to him now.
Yeah. Joseph, I got you.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, Joseph putting.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, exactly what you're talking about.
Me too. Joseph, as I'm gonna get you. Don't worry. He got you. The man said he wanted things.
He said he's patiently waiting, and I appreciate that.
Yes. Oh dear.
But hopefully, like I said, like the concerns and the suggestions of the bus drivers, have been taken into consideration, so we could see, once we get back to using the new terminal, that things flow smoothly, and for the most part, people are pleased with the way things run there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've been hearing some of the bus drivers from the West Terminal and the St. Peter's bus stop, like, just speaking about how hard it is. Like, yeah, it tense right now. It tense right now for the bus drivers, and the thing about it is, I expect it to get harder because more people can get into the bus thing. There's a lot of buses on the road now, and only so many people.
I always wonder how we got so much buses, and how these buses able to function day to day, because the amount of bus I see compared to the amount of people, and worse, everybody seems like they drive now. Like everybody seems to have a car. So I don't know. Yeah.
Y'all
got it.
I mean, and you can't stop people from buying a bus, like, you can't stop that, but there's been suggestions as ways and ways to kind of help even out the situation, but I think in the next few years, I think this whole thing is going to fall under government control,
and they're going to regulate it.
I mean, there's some regulation already, but
there's bus regulation.
Who do you think that set the price?
The Bus People Association.
The bus fee.
The Bus People Association. No, I thought so.
There's regulation, like if telling the bus them they only could park up here and not park up there and pick up people here, and so all is regulation.
That is true.
But yeah, I think we're gonna get to a point where yeah, we're not gonna see the private bus thing
in the way that it is now.
Yeah, might not happen in the next 5 years, 10 years, but yeah, it's gonna happen.
As in many go now.
Will happen over time.
No, that's the direction we're going in, because you know how hard it is right now for busmen to make it.
Well, apparently they're not giving out any business loans for buses, so
that don't mean anything. What happens a lot of times is bus drivers buy other buses.
True. Well, catch a bus, save the environment, if that makes sense, but you know.
Keep our country clean, keep our country clean, keep our country clean.
Kevon, what's next on the agenda?
Let's talk about, we could do this one next. So yesterday, the verdict for the George Floyd case were in. The case with Derek Michael Chauvin, who is the officer that who knelt on the neck of George Floyd and killed him. So former police officer of Minneapolis, Derek Chauvin, was found guilty of murder and manslaughter for the death of George Floyd, and this was announced on Tuesday evening. Floyd's death was in May 2020, and it sparked some angry, sometimes violent demonstrations, worldwide protests. Video circulated online with Chauvin, who is a white man, and his knee was on the neck of George Floyd, who was a black man, for closer to 9 minutes during an arrest, which is actually over 9 minutes during an arrest. Floyd was filmed gasping and saying he can't breathe, and onlookers were seen screaming at Chauvin to get off of Floyd's neck, and some of those included an off-duty first responder, who I think was a firefighter. The jury reached its verdict after 10 hours of deliberation over the 2 days, and the jury found him guilty on all counts. Count one, there were 3 counts. Count 1 was second-degree murder, which is unintentionally killing while committing a felony. He was found guilty. Count 2, third-degree murder, which is perpetrating an eminently dangerous act and evincing a depraved mind. He was found guilty on that too. Count 3 is second-degree manslaughter, which is culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, and he was found guilty of that as well. So
I was truly nervous because I was like, this is fast. Like, I just turned on my TV and I saw that they had a verdict, so like, man, I don't know, I was literally nervous.
You thought that was fast too?
Yeah, most of the news sources were saying that, when verdicts are reached on when the juries make a decision fast, it means one thing, that there was like a unanimous agreement, and that could either be a very good thing or a very bad thing. Could have been that they all just agreed not guilty, or they all quickly agreed guilty. So that had everybody on edge, because it's like, wow, this didn't take very long.
Trust me, actually it's funny because imagine we had to be nervous. Imagine we had to be nervous because we weren't sure if they would bring back a guilty verdict for something that was clear as day, that we all saw. It was on camera, but we still were nervous. But the only thing is that these charges, to me, don't carry a high enough jail sentence. To me.
Well, let me see. I'm trying to find it quickly. It's going to take me a second, I'm sure. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think 2 of them carry up to 15, and then one is 45 months.
But you could do up to 45 years, right? That would be the max.
45, yeah. You sure it was a month? Let me see what Kevon sent me yesterday, because I swear it was months, not years.
I have it. I'm trying to find it quickly because I sent it to y'all. They had a breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I found it. About 4 years. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So count 1, 10 and 3/4 years.
So count 1, which was the second-degree murder charge, holds a sentence of from 10 and a
quarter. Weird. 3
No,
quarters. No,
10
10
and-
and 3 quarters.
10 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know whether they didn't just say
up
that.
to 15, up to 15 years. Third degree, same, 10 years, 9 months, up to 15 years, and second degree manslaughter is about 4 years.
So based
For the sentence,
so if he gets max on all, then he's doing some years. But still, even if he does max on all, right? That's basically what 30.
He could
34?
second degree murder. No, they're gonna have them run concurrently, but he could
Concurrently is which one?
like, yeah, you just run up to the basically whatever the highest number you get, basically in a
So they
nutshell.
can't run consecutively. Like where you can't finish one count and then do the next one. That is what I'm saying.
Who does do that?
I've seen cases where you have to your charges run concurrently. Oh, you think I know this word?
But that's what concurrently mean.
Which word did you just use?
I use concurrently. You said consecutively.
Consecutively. Yeah. Where like somebody gets, let's say, 4 life sentences, that may know when they're gonna do the rest because but yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Second degree murder could be as high as 40 years in prison, while the maximum for the third degree murder is 25 years. That's what I'm saying. Like,
give him all.
Mr. Chauvin is also charged with second degree murder, which carries a 10-year maximum sentence. But the thing is, this is what's gonna happen. Like, he's going to, I think he can get somewhere around 4 to 6 years. The reason is, the reason is, they're gonna take into account that this is his first offense. He has no criminal history. Like, I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
I know, but it's still annoying.
Yeah, like.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that I read that he had other, not criminal.
No, he has complaints, but yeah, the court don't take the carry. This isn't an indictment on his police service. It's about this particular thing, and so the court can look and see, like, okay,
Ridiculous.
have you been in jail? Have you been convicted of like assault and them things?
Ridiculous. And apparently the judge told his defense attorney to appeal because of some things that
some discrepancies.
No, well, I don't know if it's a discrepancy, but the Maxine Waters, the woman in America, whatever she said, the judge told his defense attorney to appeal. But like,
yeah, like, this is like, I feel like, and bear in mind that there's a lot of people who believe that he should have only been convicted on the manslaughter charge, because they do believe that his intention was not to kill. They do believe he was they do believe that he killed him, but they do believe that it was intention.
Because if I, with no intention to kill somebody, I don't think that's what they're going to think about.
Yeah, that's why you have the different charges.
Why? Because he's a police officer, they should give him a pass?
No, you're saying that if somebody unintentionally kill somebody,
I feel like
that's what I'm saying. That's why
thinking like this because he's an officer.
No, what I'm saying is you could, like, that's why they have different charges. The different charges ain't just for police officers. I'm saying that. Right. So I feel like, and then the other thing that we need to be mindful of is that this was a case that Derek Chauvin was on trial here. It was not policing.
Well,
it wasn't policing. So there's still a lot of
like policing should be on trial because.
But I think most of us could agree with that.
Yeah, man, and I if I was the other 3 officers involved, I would plead out because I know they're coming for me next, and they probably will after watching the trial and seeing how it went. You don't think they're gonna plead out? You think they're gonna still take it to court?
No, even if they take it to court, I don't think there's a guarantee that they would be convicted. But again, it kind of depends on what charges are filed.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get the same charges as
they can't.
Yeah, because he was. But get to ask America. Not even an hour later. It was an hour? Was it an hour? I don't even think it was an hour after the verdict was read. A police officer shot and killed a 15-year-old. That called the police to help her.
A female, 15-year-old female.
She called the police, She was being attacked at her home. She had a knife to defend herself. She called the police to help her. And
a butter knife, if we have to add. A butter knife.
A butter knife. Yeah.
It was a butter knife? You lie. Yeah, lie. It wasn't a butter. It can't be.
4 shots.
Can't be.
4 shots. 4.
Like, why? How in your mind as an officer, you pull up to a scene, don't know what's happening, and just decide to pull out your gun and shoot somebody 4 times? A child. Somebody's child. Who called you? I call you and you kill me? How people supposed to feel safe calling the police?
People aren't, right? But yeah, people don't. For instance, so you remember a few weeks ago, there was this incident where argument ensued. I think it was in a restaurant or supermarket, and this white guy, he pulled out his gun, and the black couple, the husband restrained, was wrestling with the guy, and tried to restrain him, and so the wife called the police, but it was like they were so concerned about what would happen when the police come in and see like a white man, a black man, and a gun. Like the wife had to wait for them outside, leave her husband, wait outside, and plea to let them know we call the police. He's the one restraining. He didn't pull out the gun. There had to be this whole preamble while her husband inside restraining a guy who pull out a gun on them.
Third world country. Nobody can convince me that America is not a third world country. Nobody can convince me that that country isn't the country that they're trying to prevent. They're always trying to make another country better by invading them and stuff. Somebody needs to invade America because clearly y'all ain't doing it. Y'all. Woo. Anyway, let's take a quick break and then come back and discuss how America needs to be abolished. Yeah.
You want some fun? Get a Viva, Viva. Taste the flavor, have a Viva, Viva. Oh yeah, Viva is the one. Say goodbye to boring. Let me hear you sing. Got to have my Viva, water but so much better.
Viva sparkling flavored water. Water, but better.
Hey Dad, wanna race?
Well, let's see who's trying to keep up with who today.
Oh, 'cause you need a head start?
I'm already way ahead of you, son.
Keep up with what matters. Joint Care supplements your active lifestyle by supporting your bones, cartilage, muscles with essential nutrients. Joint Care helps to reduce inflammation with omega-3 and replenishes glucosamine, a natural compound vital to healthy cartilage and joints. Choose the Joint Care formula that is right for you. Supplex, Complete, and Max are available at your local pharmacy. Joint Care, a part of the 7 C's family of vitamins and supplements.
Fruta, taste the real Fruta. Enjoy the real Fruta. Refreshing juice of every day. Whoa, Fruta. Drink the real Fruta. Your favorite Fruta. The natural taste is Fruta. Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta. Enjoy
water, juiced right.
For real and unbiased sports news and reviews, from cricket to football and everything in between, with in-depth interviews from your favorite sports icons, check out The Bench Meeting, hosted by Kenneth Bob on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. only on WINN Media SKN.
Is still Wednesday. Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves Kevon and Azem, and it is time to continue talking some more news. Still Wednesday, April 21st. The time is 9:40 a.m.
Are you going to just let Azem, if we're talking about the football one, Azem going to have to help because
Yeah, we're going to football.
I read it and I
actually.
was confused. Not going to lie.
Yeah. So I'll just read it out and then Azem will take the conversation away because have withdrawn. All 6 English clubs have dramatically abandoned plans to join the European Super League on Tuesday, imploding the breakaway project with the Spanish and Italian counterparts within 48 hours of the announcement. So Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United, Manchester City and Tottenham deserted the plans for a largely closed midweek competition amid escalating backlash from their supporters and warning from the government that legislation could be introduced to thwart them. The Super League project was overseen by Real Madrid president Madrid in Spain and Juventus, AC Milan and Inter Milan from Italy, while the while the Continental Six were yet to formally announce the Super League, it was ditched late Tuesday. It became unviable without the Premier League clubs. The English healed the appeals from the UEFA president, Alexander Seferin, to stay part of the existing Champion League. Yeah, Azem? So he also said...
What all of this mean?
All right, but I mean, basically, the Super League is the European Super League.
Who in it? Like, give me a famous person in it, so I can understand which league is. They say, well, like, Manchester United and Liverpool, right?
Okay, so it's a league that consists of persons from teams from several leagues around Europe. So the Premier League would be teams like Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City.
That's super different.
No. So what there's people from the from Serie A, which is the Italian league. There's people from the Spanish league. There's people from the English league teams. That come together to play in this tournament, right? But what is happening now is because of COVID-19, pressure from fans, even pressure from the government, the English teams have pulled out. So without the English teams, it's kind of like, does it really make sense to have this league, to have this competition?
So why are they pulling out? Because of COVID?
Yeah.
So this is what all this outrage was? I thought like the actual league did something like,
No, because they were actually saying that the government had actually said that they could put legislation in place that would limit the ability for them to compete.
Interesting. That is interesting. Okay, I read it, right? And I was like, I am not sure if I know what any of this means. But I kept seeing it. I kept seeing people
talking about the Super League
and outrage and people pulling out and what's that channel? There's this channel that wasn't available in our region. I think it was something sports. And all of a sudden, now all of this is happening.
Yeah, because all six, every single one of the Premier League teams are pulled out.
So like Manchester, Liverpool.
Yeah, I think
Chelsea.
It was Arsenal and Manchester
I know
City.
things. I know football things.
Yeah, I have them here. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Tottenham.
Those are all the teams I know. Literally.
But also bear in mind that there's also an Italian team that is set to pull out Inter Milan.
Oh, I know them. Man, I know football things, man. I used to back Manchester United. I didn't know who was on Manchester United, but my dad is a Chelsea fan, so I just decided I'm going to go against him and back Manchester United. And I was into it. I didn't know who was playing, but I was into it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the teams because there's certain...
So is that they don't want to play because they don't want to risk getting COVID?
Well, there's a lot of pressure. So from the governments and stuff like. Remember right now. Actually, since Boris contracted COVID, right, his COVID response has changed dramatically.
What Boris though?
No, but you see.
Here.
Wow.
But Boris never ever. I don't even think Boris got home. Honestly, Boris just look like he'll wake up and shake and go.
And it don't really work for.
It'll just fall over.
Yeah, it don't really work for the people from the mountains of Caucasoid, like it works for us. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure in terms of remember even now you're not supposed to leave the UK for even like vacations, like you have to have a legitimate reason to leave the UK, like so there's a lot of regulations that would make it difficult to facilitate competing in the league.
I remember I saw and Canada making it very difficult, but I know for sure in England, like you can't just get up and go. You have to give them a very good reason. But so I thought they would make because this isn't for work purposes, so they don't care about work purposes either. Like you have to be life or death.
They're just saying.
I just ask,
No, but you have to understand, like these international competitions and thing, it's hard to facilitate. Because look at it, even what you call it, when our footballers went, like they still had to quarantine when they come back.
Well, come back, I understand, but
they have to go again. So it's like
they can't let them quarantine when they come back. Boys, I mean, not men.
But how they can continue to compete in their own leagues if they got to quarantine and do whatever?
But the league playing in England?
No. So the teams are involved in several leagues. Mm-hmm. So they're involved in the English league, the English Premier League teams, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say they travel to Italy to go play Inter Milan. Mm-hmm. And they come back and they have to, let's say, quarantine and thing. Like how the English Premier League can function when 6 of the teams up and down the place playing and then got to stop off and like.
So they can't just vaccinate them.
Like what I'm saying is there's regulations that govern the travel of people leaving from the UK especially. And I know there was also pressure from the fans. There were a lot of fans who were saying, look, we don't want you all to go and play over there in some of these countries because you go over there, you catch COVID, and then you come back and you can't play.
Oh.
And so...
let me tell you something. I didn't realize football this serious, eh?
What? Football is one of the most serious things in the world.
No, because like...
Football is a religion.
Like the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, like, football is a religion.
Football is the biggest sport in the world. I think that's an easy
thing
to think. It is, yeah.
The most popular sport. Like, you realize FIFA is like the Vatican?
Right.
Like, yeah.
People don't play FIFA.
You just see the amount of money. You just see how much money these people get paid.
Bottle can just practice till you could, because trust me, yeah, I believe you. When it comes to money, yeah, footballers really paid. They are more. I think they get more money than basketballers.
There's more money in the sport.
Yeah.
So
boy, that is a fact.
Let me see. So the highest paid footballer for 2020 was Lionel Messi, and he earned a 2020.
26 mil? What? 26?
120.
Oh, I forget the one. Me mother.
Which is $9 million more than Ronaldo.
Bruh. I know them feet insured. I know that those feet are insured because 126.
So let's break it down for you. So so that $126 million, 92 million of it was the salary. 34 million of it is endorsements. So that's things like, Nike and Adidas and Puma and that kind of things. So $92 million was your salary for the year. And then you get an extra 34 from endorsements.
I can't kick out. It's too late. Is it too late for me?
It's not too late, but you have an uphill battle. Let's put it that way. But then again, remember how they said that. Remember the US female national team been complaining about payment. Even though I'm shutting up on this, because if I say exactly how I feel about that, then
we're going to say because they don't make the same amount of money as the male footballers.
Okay.
So they don't have enough endorsements. Enough people don't watch. They don't make it. Then the wages is that way because the money that the league makes from female footballers is the same as what they make from male footballers and all of this. Is that what you're going to say, Azem, or not what is to say, Azem?
No. Generally, no. I don't mind saying that. Like,
just make sure.
Like, I don't mind saying that, but.
Wait, Kevon, what currency was US or pounds?
That was a US dollar figure.
That was US.
That was converted to US.
Yeah, but no, with the US, I mentioned the US women's national team, so that's a little different situation. But basically, the reason I really want to get they decided the association made them an offer. They decided they don't want that offer. right? They decided that no, this is how we want to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out that the way that they decided they wanted to get paid was actually going to be less money than they would have gotten had they taken the initial offer from the association. And then they want to make noise. It's like, nah. But a lot of what you said, it doesn't apply to this particular scenario, because the truth is, the U.S. men's national team ain't really saying nothing. But the U.S. female, everybody know multiple people on the U.S. female national team. Like, they've been winning, like, the superstars in the own way, right? Like, the top team in the world. So people know, like, Mia Hamm, and so, like, it don't even apply. Like, they are more marketable than the men's national team. Like, but I guess,
really,
the fellas aiming.
They're really winning like that,
bro. The U.S. women's national team been like just killing everybody. Like, hold
on, Witty asking you a question, and I feel it's because of the currency, the money that we talk about. I feel like that's made sure, but Witty asking you if you just play football.
I have since retired.
Sorry, Witty, it's 126 million US dollars, and yes, Azem plays football. So
I haven't kicked a ball on any field in a few years now. My feet would probably just ask me, why you
never too late to resume. Never too late to resume.
It might be too late for this.
Those kneecaps.
But yeah, but yeah.
And we also know that St Kitts is a very big football place. Like, Kittitians love football, so all the Kittitians
so happy to see our national players get out there. We actually have national.
Said that is why I even do ad recently right now to establish which side we are on and what way we are going. He also added that I do regret actions of the past, but it is development. The mistake that you make is just to learn, and you must learn from them and don't make them again. But it's not a problem to make a mistake. The problem is not learning from them. Bounty Killer was one of the many dancehall artists who were defensive over Prime Minister of Jamaica and to Wholeness. His claim that music they release contributes to the country's crime rate. And while he didn't explicitly agree that the dancehall music genre contributes, he also said, I'm a different man, I'm a different age, I'm not at the same age or stage. But I'm still Rodney. I'm still the person who was born on the 12th of June, 1972.
Rodney.
So I don't think a person can change. And I'm seeing things differently, and I'm going to think about things differently. So.
Well, that was the music of that time. I've spoken to my friend several times. I mean, no. What I mean is, when he made that song, that was the music of that time. Not saying that that's not the time still, because it has gotten worse. However, when he made those songs, I feel like that was the song that they sang at that time. Because like as I said, me and my friends like I'm a big Vybz Kartel fan. I'm a big dancehall fan in general, especially old dancehall. And I often wonder how you could hear a song, right? Like what Kartel would sing. Like for instance, when Mavado and Kartel was beefing, some of them things was a little, fighting words ish. Like they used to be a little rough. I don't know how I would feel if somebody tell me them things, honestly.
I happy to hear these kind of conversations, right? Because okay, I have a big pet peeve. That's why I put this in. I hate when I love this. I love that Bounty Killer is growing and maturing enough. And this is, and not only I feel is necessary. I feel it's necessary for the older artists to continue to speak on their experiences, because then it helps to inform younger artists, especially people of the caliber like Bounty Killer. Because the pet peeve that I was speaking about is I hate when people say, oh, I have no regrets because it helped me to be, everything I've done helped me to be where I'm at. I hate to hate, yeah. I hate to hate.
I suppose that's the truth.
It's stupid.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I hate to hate. Oh. Like, there's nothing wrong with having regrets, people. Like, you can regret something and still learn from it.
True,
and not only that,
if you we're supposed to make mistakes. Well, some of them we're supposed to make.
That's what I'm like. Even that deal, like at some point, yes, we understand that that's where you were and things. So I'm not even angry at him for, let's say, making the song. I'm just happy that he's at a place now where he recognizes that perhaps that messaging was not productive. And not only that, I'm even more thankful that he's at a place where he's willing to speak about it. Because, like...
You think music has got...
Sorry.
You think music has gotten more violent or more raunchy?
Both. Because we continually, in order to stand out, generally people try to push the envelope. And so that's the general direction that not just music but art in general tends to take. And I think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate because whether you believe that art imitates life or life imitates art, like there's some symbiotic relationship happening there. There's something happening there.
Not gonna lie. So I agree that we don't have to always make raunchy or like violent music, but some of them just be hitting by like.
See, but from the time you said that, then it negates everything you said from the beginning.
Right.
Which is what? Which part?
We don't always have to make them
we
music.
don't always have to because
but they make it because people gonna resonate.
Yeah, but there's also artists that don't only make that music and all of their music resonates. Like there's artists that yes they make that type of music, but they also make a different type of music. So I can't just say those artists that don't know how to do anything else yet. They need to. No, they need to. Then okay, this is my thing. I don't believe in censoring any art, right? So if you want to make a song, talking about killing and whatever, fine. The problem is that we reward it. Like we reward it. They reward it with one of the songs that is like one of my big. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Anyway, quickly, my favorite songs right now is "Back in Blood" by Pusha. It's a very terrible song, but it bangs. Mengalai.
So why does it resonate with you in a way that you would go and stream it over and over again and create an incentive for them to continue making them?
I can't say that right now. You can judge me.
No, but we need.
It's the beat and stuff. It's just a really good.
So if he sang a song about his pet dog and a beat there, you think it'll be kicking?
For me, I don't know for other people.
I don't believe that.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
No, I can't tell you that. I just don't believe that to be the case. You could believe that to be the case, but
it's
I don't.
True. It's my truth.
Okay.
Anyway, wrap up. Let's go.
Yeah, guys, but yeah, it's hump day.
Hump day. Middle of the week. Almost Friday.
I could have swear when I wake up this morning it was Saturday. I don't know what's going on with me on these weeks lately.
You and Kevon are living like different.
No, but the week's feeling long. I don't know if it's since I got back out and thing. I don't know what it is by, but
No, it's true. They've been going fast, but also very short. Like some days just drag, and then you just blink, and then the whole week done, and it's like, yeah, okay.
The level of tiredness. Yeah. But anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Hey, thanks to Dr. Cameron Wilkinson for always listening, and because you all don't know, but he'll be sending us messages. He sends us the updates all the time, and calling in today and adding his 2 cents. I think that was really cool of him. But and also like to thank all the other guys. Witty, morning. Yes, Witty, of course, Witty, of course I am. You know this, but yeah, you could follow us on Facebook on WINNmedia SKN, on YouTube WINNmedia SKN, and listen to us right here on WINN FM 98.9. That's where you can listen to the shows, and also on Instagram, Periscope, and Twitch.
Yes.
Right, and also guys, go and check out the Instagram ILNT SKN. You get lots of clips, a lot of other material.
You can also check out the WINN FM, the WINNmedia SKN Instagram. For all your news and other things, we have clips over there as well. So there's lots of places for you to get your information.
Yeah, get the ILNT fix, people. But yeah, as we were saying, don't be afraid to grow and to admit you're wrong.
Don't be dotish.
Say it's okay to say that you were in a place you're no longer in anymore.
Yes.
I mean, that applies to myself. So many things I thought, and then when I learned a different outlook, I'm like, well, yeah, I used to think about it that way, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
So growth should be encouraged. Growth should be encouraged.
Not dotishism.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Anyway, heart eyes answer for Azem. Go on. Let us hear from our fave, our honorary fave, with our parting words.
So please drive safely and do right by others. Please use our roundabouts correctly, meaning don't overtake in our roundabouts, don't switch lanes in our roundabouts, and when you're exiting, please indicate so that folks driving behind you can know what your intentions are. It will reduce accidents and almost accidents by significant proportions.
Stay in your lane, people.
Stay in your lane figuratively and
literally.
Also, in a manner which is conducive to the collection of garbage from our friends at Solid Waste. If you park your cars irresponsibly, then people can get their garbage collected with the trucks.
Clean.
So gentlemen, when you're thieving a piece, please park around the corner,
right,
so the truck can get up the street or where your madam lives to collect her trash.
Indeed. It might work out better for you too.
Indeed. It's going to be a clean environment when you get there the next time. Also, let us please, put pressure on our lawmakers and our policy makers and our policy designers and wheelers and dealers in Parliament to take a look at our outdated laws, all of them. The traffic laws, the sexual assault laws, the everything as it relates to, so that they can relate to current day life and current day society in St Kitts and Nevis. Update them so it's a reflection of what's actually happening and not what used to happen in the 1960s. And with that, I will turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies, His Excellency Honorable Kevon Hanley,
a.k.a. Chapstick Don, a.k.a. Slim God, a.k.a. Duke of Frigipe, Prosecco Papi, the one and only Kevon Hanley.
Because you can't be everybody's cup of tea. Let me tell you why. Because you is not a mug. See you tomorrow.